Loomers, Joyce here. Welcome back for another one of my tutorials. A very special extra tutorial for you today, especially for Valentine's Day, of course. Now, I came up with this design last year when I first started looming, and this one and the Love Shin, which is this one with the big hearts over here, were actually the two very first designs of my own that I came up with. And the very first tutorial I ever made is actually of the Love Shin bracelet. So it is very special to me, as you might know. And this one is the 27th tutorial already. Wow, time flies. And this one I called the One Love, One People, after the iconic song by Bob Marley. In a time when the world can feel divided, loud, and unkind, this design is a quiet reminder that love, compassion, humanity, and empathy still matter, guys, and always will. It's about connection beyond differences, choosing kindness even when it's hard, and remembering that we're all part of the same whole. We are all one people. To make this bracelet, you will need your hook, of course. Now, it is always easier to use a double-ended hook like the Loom hook from the Rainbowloom website, or a double-ended crochet hook for hook-only designs, because we're going to do a lot of sliding and turning again. Now, this design doesn't have a lot of bands on your hook, so you can definitely use a regular hook as well and just pinch your bands, take your hook out and put it in the other way around so you can work on the other side. It's definitely doable too, but I highly recommend you getting a double-ended hook if you want to do more hook-only designs, especially for the wider ones. It just makes your loom life way easier. Of course, we will need a C-clip for closing purposes, or the fantastic new easy clips that Rainbowloom has just launched, and to keep your cap band in check. I always recommend you put your C-clip, easy clip on first, or in my case, I always use my little stitchy friends over here, just to keep your cap band in check, and it makes closing up your bracelet later easier. So it just makes way more sense to put your clip on the cap band first instead of clipping it off at the end. As I said, I will be keeping my cap band in check with one of my stitchy friends over here, and we'll need some bands. I will be using 5 colors for this bracelet in the same color scheme as I'm using right here. With the cylindrical bands, I thought a special occasion, let me use some special bands today. And as you can see, I'm using this cylindrical gold color as a connector color, and each heart has 2 colors. I'm using dark green and lighter green, and dark pink, I will call it, and lighter pink, you see? Okay, now you can choose whatever colors you want to, of course. I will always tell you what part of the design we're working on, so you can match your bands up with that. And of course, I will be laying out the pattern for you later, as usual, and put the thumbnails up. Please remember, you can always pause the video to catch up, rewind to watch something again, and of course, you can always speed me up if I'm going too slow for you. And I will always put my timestamps in my tutorials as well, so you can find certain parts really quickly by clicking the timestamps or the chapters under the description box or in the description box. Okay, that's it. Let's go create some love. We're going to start with the pattern almost immediately, but first I'm going to show you how to make one full section, so one heart plus the connector bands, and then I'll lay it out for you, okay? And to get started, first we're going to have to make a cap band, and I always choose the same color as the connector colored bands, keeping all the hearts together. Okay, so that's gold for me. And to make the cap band, you simply place the band on your hook, give it a twist, and put the other end on your hook, creating your figure 8 shape. And I like to keep my cap band in check with my little stitch marker, but I highly recommend you putting any clip on here, a C clip or an easy clip or a stitch marker like I'm doing, just to keep your cap band in check. And for some designs, it's easier if you have a clip on here, because it opens up the cap band a little bit and it's easier to identify the 2 single loops of the cap band. For this design, it doesn't really matter much, it just keeps it in check. And the first bands that we're going to pull through are our 2 connector color bands. These 2 bands here. One is making a little cross here, and one is this arch here. Okay, you're going to pull through these 2 bands simultaneously. So that's already the first loony part of this tutorial. You're going to pull these under the loops of the cap band to simply close it up, like so. Now it is easiest if you keep these bands in the same order the whole time. So you have an inner band and an outer band, okay? The next band that we're going to pull through will also be 2 bands simultaneously, and that is actually the top part of the heart. Those are 2 bands. I am going to start with my dark green, and you're pulling these 2 bands under the first loop on your hook. And come here, under the first loop. There. And simply close it up. And also these bands need to be in the correct order. So make sure that they stay in the correct order the whole time, like that. Okay? The next band that you're going to pull through is a single band. It's that light green here, making the tip of the heart. Okay? So you're going to pull 1 band under the first 4 loops on your hook, so all the loops of the top part of the heart. Then you're going to grab the 5th loop, which is that connector color, and drag it under the 6th loop. Sometimes you have to help with your fingers a little bit, like so, creating that little cross that you see here. See? And then you're going to pick up loop number 4. Again, make sure that your bands stay in the correct order. Pick up loop number 4 and close it up. Like so. And now that loop number 4 is in the middle here, we want that to sit behind the tip of behind loop number 3, let me call it that. So you're moving the 2nd over the 3rd, like so. Okay? Then we're going to slide and turn, and we're going to repeat the same process on the other side. You're going to grab your 2 heart colored bands that make the top of the heart, pull it under the first loop on your hook, close it up, make sure that those bands stay in the correct order, in the same order I mean. Sometimes you just have to help it a bit. If they don't stay in the correct order, you can always, it is a bit of a messy design I must say, but you can always fix it later once your bracelet is made, okay? Now you're going to grab the color you're using for the tip of the heart, and you're pulling that under the first 4 loops, and the cross is already made, so we don't have to drag anything with us. We're simply going under that 5th loop, inside that cross, pick up the 4th loop, close it up, and that 4th loop is now the 2nd loop. We're going to move that over the 3rd loop, the one we just pulled through, and have it sit in the middle, like so. Okay? And now we are ready to pull through our first bands of the pattern, and that is the 2 connector colored bands again, so that's gold for me. Those are the bands that we're going to pull through simultaneously. You're simply going to pull these under all the loops, through all the loops on your hook. All 6 of them. Close it up. It's prettiest if you keep those bands in the same order the whole time, as I said before. Like so. I missed one. Like so. That's better. And that is already our first heart done. Okay? So I'm going to lay out the pattern for you now. So this is the pattern. Once you have pulled through your 2 connector colored bands through the tip of the heart, you're going to start by pulling through 2 of your heart colored bands under that first loop, then the single heart colored band for the tip of the heart, and you're going to pull that under those 4 loops and drag the connector colored band with you, creating that cross. And then do the same thing on the other side, and then at the very end you are going to pull through your 2 connector colored bands again, and then you're back at the top of a heart. And we can start the whole sequence again, okay? So let's get back to our bracelet. Okay, so back to our bracelet and our first little heart. We've already have our connector colored bands on our hook, so we're going to grab 2 of our heart colored bands. And I'm switching colors now, going to the dark pink. And you're going to pull these 2 bands, make sure that they're nice next to each other, under the first loop on your hook. And just close it up. As I said, it will look nicer if you keep these bands in the same order. See, so you have an inner band and an outer band. Then you're going to grab the color that you want for the tip of your heart. I am grabbing my lighter pink for that, and you're pulling that band under the first 4 loops. Then you drag that 5th loop with you under the 6th loop, creating that cross. And you're picking up the 4th loop of those previous heart colored bands. Then you close it up. And that 4th loop is now in the middle. It's now the 2nd loop, and you're going to rearrange that over the 3rd loop, having it sit in the middle of the design, like so. Okay, now we're going to slide and turn and do the same thing on the other side. Grabbing our 2 heart colored bands. Sure that my bands are not twisted. Pull that under the 1st loop. Close it up. I always fiddle a bit that my bands stay in the same order, in the correct order I mean, and then I'm going to grab the heart colored band for the tip of the heart, and the cross is already made, so you simply pull that band under all 5 loops, under the first 5 loops on your hook. Come here. Oh, it's a stubborn one, this one. That's not very loving. And then you're going to pick up loop number 4, close it up, and you want that loop number 4, which is now loop number 2, to sit in the middle of the design, like so. The other one moved position again, you see that? Sometimes you just have to do it again, like so. Now you're going to grab your 2 connector colored bands again and pull that under everything on your hook, all 6 bands, and just close it up. Okay, and we're back at the start of a new heart now. That's 2 already. So cute. Okay, now I'm going to repeat the pattern with you a few more times, and I'll put a timestamp that says pattern repeat right here. So you can always go back to this point if you want to continue making the pattern together. But if you think you got it from here, you can jump ahead and go to where it says closing up, so I can show you how you can close up your bracelet, which is really easy in this case. Okay. Now, to continue, I'm going to switch colors again. I'm going back to my dark green. I'm going to pull the first 2 bands under that first loop on my hook. Just pull it under and close it up. Like so. Keep the bands in the correct order. You can always fix it later, so don't worry too much about that, guys. Then pick your single band that you're using for the tip of the heart. Pull it under the first 4 loops, all your heart colored bands. Grab that 5th loop, drag it with you under, almost under the 6th loop. There we go. It's definitely easier with a Loom hook, guys. If it's too hard for you, just do it with your fingers. Okay, you have seen me make these crosses in previous designs, I bet. Then pick up loop number 4. Close it up and have that loop sit in the middle of the design. So move 3 over 2 to the middle, like so. Slide and turn, and we're doing the same thing on the other side. Grab the 2 bands you're using for the top part of the heart. Make sure they're not twisted. And pull them under the first loop on your hook. Close it up, and then you're grabbing a band in the bottom color of your heart, color you're using for the tip, I wanted to say. You pull that under the first 4 loops. The cross is already there, so you're also pulling it under the 5th loop. Come up in that little cross, pick up loop number 4. These bands are a little bit slippery today, see? There we go. Close it up and have that loop number 4, which is now loop number 2, sit in the middle of the design. See, the other one slipped over again too. What's going on? There we go. I have to get used to working with the cylindrical bands perhaps. Or I use too much oil. Okay, now we're going to go back to our connector color. grab 2 of those bands and pull these through everything on your hook and just close it up. I'm going to switch colors again, grabbing 2 of my hard colored bands, pull these under the first loop on my hook, close it up. Then I'm grabbing the color I'm using for the tip of my heart, pull that band under the first 4 loops, grab the 5th loop and drag it under. If it's too hard, maybe you can flip it over with your nails or grab it with your fingers like so and drop it over the edge. That's also an option, you see. And then you're going to pick up loop number 4 and close it up. Now for this design, you can't really see that cross all that well. So that's why I'm, for this design, not really paying attention to which way the cross goes, you see, because they're alternating. One is going this way, the other is going that way, this way, that way, but you don't really see it. But if you want to be really precise, of course, you can make sure that all these bands are crossing over in the same way, okay? Now we still have to move our 2nd band over our 3rd band. Have it sit in the middle. And then we're going to slide and turn and do the same thing on the other side. Grab your 2 hard colored bands. Pull them out of the first loop. Close it up. Then grab the color you're using for the tip of your heart. Pull that under the 5 loops because the cross is already there. Pick up loop number 4. Close it up. And move loop number 4 to the middle too. Like so. And now we can add our 2 connector colored bands again. Pull it under everything and just close it up. And another heart done. So I'm switching colors again. I'm going to do one more with you, but I think that you got it from here. Pull your 2 bands under the first loop on your hook. Super easy design, huh? Close it up. Grab the color you're using for the tip of your heart. Pull it under 4 of your hard colored bands. Drag that 5th band with you, creating your cross. And then pick up loop number 4. Come here, you slippery. There. Close it up. Move that loop to the inside. So 3 over 2. Move it to the inside like so. And slide and turn. Do the same thing. Grab your 2 hard colored bands. Pull them under the first loop. Close it up. Then grab the band that you want to use for the tip. And pull that under 5 loops because the cross is already there. Pick up the 4th loop and close it up. Like so. It's already a heart done. Okay, I think that you got it from here, right? It's not a very hard design. So once your bracelet is long enough and you're back at your 2 connector colored bands, you simply just pull these through and put your C-clip on there. That's already the end of it. Very easy. Here we go. The very cute One Love, One People. Well, that was it for today, my lovely Loomers. I hope you all were feeling the love while making my One Love, One People design. And I hope you will all spread as much love and kindness as you can for the world. We can definitely use more of that, eh? Now, when you have made this bracelet and you post it on social media, please don't forget to tag me in the pictures and use the hashtags you see on your screen right now so I can see them too. I'll post these in the description box below as usual as well, of course. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel with the button you see right here in the corner. Come find me on Instagram and Facebook too for more of my content and creations. The link to my Instagram is in the description box below, and I do give sneak peeks over there of upcoming tutorials. Now, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to message me here on Facebook or on Instagram. Shoot me a private message if you want to. You're always welcome with me, I promise. And should you have made a design you want me to make a tutorial for, please feel free to contact me for that as well. Send me some pictures if you can, and we can see if I can make a tutorial for you too, okay? Stay tuned, turn on your notifications so you don't miss more of my content and tutorials. Stay colorful, stay creative, stay loving, and most of all, stay loony. That's all, folks.
Oh.